You offer plenty of praise of Donald Trump in the book. Do you hope he wins again in the autumn?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because I believe that we need a strong America. I think that's more important than ever. I feel we're on the cusp of very, very serious conflict. And I think there's been too much appeasement, particularly of China and Iran.
Where does it leave Ukraine, though? If there is a second term for Donald Trump, where does it leave Ukraine? You're very outspoken about Russia. Do you fear for Ukraine's future if President Donald Trump was to win a second term?
I fear for Ukraine's future already.
Right.
I don't think Ukraine is being given enough support. I think they need the long-range weapons.
But is that not because of supporters of Donald Trump?
Well, it's partly because of that, but it's also partly because the West have not, given enough of the right weaponry early enough because of fear of escalation.
Sure. Would it be fair to say, I hear what you're saying in terms of your praise for Donald Trump, but that on Ukraine, the two of you are in a different place, are you not?
So I think what Donald Trump says often gets filtered by a media that are pretty anti-Trump. So I'm not saying that I agree with absolutely everything he's ever said, but he's been very clear that he's committed to NATO. Mm-hmm. He's been very clear that he was the instigator of supplying the arms to back up Ukraine. And I do agree that under Donald Trump, when he was president of the United States, the world was safer.
Talk directly to the viewer, the listener, who, whatever their politics, says that your time as Prime Minister left the UK as an international laughingstock.
Well, I don't think that's true.
But you lasted for all the stuff about the lasting less time than a lettuce.
This is just pathetic, point scoring.
Address directly our viewer or listener who looks back 18 months and remembers that mini budget and blames you for mortgages going sky high, for the country feeling poorer, for the economy getting into a spin, and say that you were the author of that and it was a disaster.
Well, the mortgages getting higher was a phenomenon that was happening around the world. Interest rates were going up. They'd been too low for too long. And in fact, it was a failure of the Bank of England not to put them up earlier, which would have helped stem inflation.
But it was your actions that led to that spiralling economic mess.
Well, I don't agree with that. Well,
the markets went into turmoil. You had to sack your chancellor. You were gone within a few weeks.
We didn't know. We were sitting on a tinderbox. And
which you set fire to.
Well,
I just wonder if it sounds like you're looking for somebody else to blame.
Well, I do believe that. I mean, what I am saying is yes.
It was somebody else's fault.
Well, I'm not saying I'm perfect, and nobody's perfect. It's all very well saying, Liz, do you accept any of the blame? I'm frankly not going to let them get off the hook.